Fielders, guys, I can confirm an information going around England was reported by Craig Hope about Newcastle, and it's about Arsenal interest in Bruno Guimarães. It's true that Arsenal made an approach for Bruno Guimarães. It was a direct approach on player side and club side with Newcastle, so Arsenal have reached out for Bruno Guimarães. My understanding is that their intention was to try approach for a deal around £55 million for Bruno Guimarães, but Newcastle are not selling the player for this fee. Newcastle closed the doors to this approach from Arsenal. Now we will see if Arsenal return, if there is anything moved, leaving everything in the hands of Newcastle, is respecting Newcastle. So that's the status of the story, that's the situation, but for sure Arsenal tried to make an approach and to enter into the Bruno Guimarães story. But again, at the moment the intention at Newcastle is not to sell the player, not to advance.
Breaking news. Arsenal's £55 million bid for Bruno Guimarães rejected. Hello Gunners and welcome back to Arsenal Daily Talk. I hope you're all doing well. If you're passionate about everything Arsenal, from breaking transfer news and exclusive updates to match previews, tactical analysis and all the biggest stories surrounding the club, then make sure you subscribe to Arsenal Daily Talk. Leave a like on this video and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now let's dive straight into one of today's biggest Arsenal transfer stories. According to respected transfer journalist Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal made a direct approach to Newcastle United in an attempt to sign Brazilian midfielder Bruno Guimarães. Reports suggest Arsenal were prepared to offer around £55 million, hoping to convince Newcastle to sell one of their most influential players. However, Newcastle United rejected the approach and are not looking to sell Bruno Guimarães during this transfer window. This is a significant development because it shows Arsenal are still actively exploring ways to strengthen the squad ahead of another demanding season. Bruno Guimarães has been linked with Arsenal before, but this latest report suggests the club's interest is genuine enough for an official approach to have been made. For Arsenal fans, this is another sign that Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta are determined to improve every area of the squad. Although Arsenal already possess one of the strongest midfields in England, competing in both the Premier League and the Champions League requires exceptional squad depth. Bruno Guimarães is exactly the type of midfielder who fits Arsenal's style of football. The Brazilian international combines technical quality with physicality. He is comfortable receiving the ball under pressure, progressing play through midfield, breaking opposition attacks, and creating opportunities with intelligent passing. He also brings leadership qualities. Since joining Newcastle, Bruno has become one of the club's most important players. His commitment, work rate and consistency have made him a fan favourite at St James's Park. It is therefore no surprise that Newcastle were unwilling to accept Arsenal's reported offer. From Newcastle's perspective, Bruno Guimarães is not just another player. He is one of the foundations of their long-term project. The club has invested heavily in building a squad capable of competing for Champions League qualification every season, and losing one of their best midfielders would be a major setback. That explains why reports suggest Newcastle rejected Arsenal's approach almost immediately. While £55 million is a huge amount of money, Newcastle appear to value Bruno much higher, and more importantly, they simply do not want to sell. For Arsenal, this now creates an important decision. Do they return with a significantly improved offer? Or do they move on to other midfield targets available this summer? Only the club's recruitment team knows the answer. One thing is certain, Arsenal will not spend money recklessly. Over the past few years, the club has become much more disciplined in the transfer market. Every signing is carefully considered to ensure the player fits Arteta's tactical system and the club's long-term vision. If Arsenal believe Bruno Guimarães is the perfect midfielder to take the team to another level, they may decide to continue negotiations. If Newcastle remain completely unwilling to sell, Arsenal could instead focus on alternative targets. This is how modern transfer windows work. Clubs often prepare several options for every position they wish to strengthen. For Arsenal supporters, the most encouraging part of this story is not necessarily whether Bruno joins the club. Instead, it shows the ambition Arsenal continue to demonstrate in the market. The Gunners are targeting players who have already proven themselves at the highest level. That ambition reflects Arsenal's desire to compete with Europe's very best teams. Imagine for a moment what Bruno Guimarães could offer if he ever wore the famous red and white shirt. A midfield featuring Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard and Bruno Guimarães would combine creativity, defensive strength, technical quality, pressing intensity and leadership. It would undoubtedly be one of the strongest midfields in European football. But at this stage, Arsenal supporters should remain cautious. The reported bid has been rejected and Newcastle's position is clear. There is currently no indication that Newcastle are willing to negotiate a sale. Transfer situations can change quickly, but for now, Bruno Guimarães remains firmly a Newcastle United player. As always, Arsenal Daily Talk will continue following every development closely. If there are any new updates, whether Arsenal decide to return with another offer or switch their attention to another midfielder, you'll hear about it right here on this channel. Now it's your turn, Gunners. Should Arsenal increase their offer for Bruno Guimarães, or should the club move on and pursue another midfield target? Let us know your opinion in the comments below because we'd love to hear what every Arsenal fan thinks. If you've enjoyed today's breaking news update, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to Arsenal Daily Talk, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Arsenal transfer update. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, keep believing, and as always, come on you Gunners.